You know, if there's one word I can use to describe the gaming industry, it's this: gaslight. That's literally what's been happening across my feed for the past 24 hours. Not only do we have giant conglomerate corporations and those CEOs of those corporations trying to lie to you and gaslight you on a consistent basis because they want to extract more of your money, we literally have actual Nvidia fanboys running around and claiming that everything Nvidia says is in fact correct and trying to defend literal generative AI slop inside of their actual GPUs in video games. All the while as RAM goes exponentially higher in price, and at the same time GPUs become almost impossibly to afford. No, I'm not kidding. And that, my friends, is going to be exactly why today we're going to call everybody out. Whether you're a corpo or whether you're a fanboy, you're getting it in today's video. And up first, apparently, is going to be Nvidia and even Bethesda and Todd Howard, because clearly they have no idea what is in fact happening in their own space. And at the same time, we're watching these two individuals lie to the actual consumer base and telling you, guys, don't worry, not everything will be AI slop, while they're literally working together to make AI slop. Because according to Tom's Hardware on Twitter, they said this: Jensen Huang says gamers are, quote, completely wrong about DLSS 5. Nvidia CEO responds to the DLSS 5 backlash. Oh, I'm sorry, no. Is it you that's wrong, Jensen? No, it's the gamers that are wrong. They've always been wrong, even though we're the only reason you actually have a job right now, simply because you cater to us since the very beginning. And now you want to toss us to the side for all your giant AI aspirations. You gotta love it, but it doesn't work that way, bucko. Sit down, buckle up. Here it comes. You see, there has been massive backlash on the internet because of DLSS 5, and honestly, rightfully so. And something I've been noticing recently is people telling me, Alex, oh, wait, you're wrong, bro. The game developers, they're going to have full control over DLSS 5. It doesn't change the geometry of the actual models in the game. Bro, you're crazy. You're getting all this stuff wrong. There's literally no way that's actually true, that it's just going to be AI-generated prompts in video games in the future, because that's what Jensen actually wants, which is why he's pushing AI in the first place, so you don't have any ability to buy a GPU, but you have to rent the actual game through a service like GeForce Now, instead providing complete control over the entire aspect of the gaming industry. He wouldn't do anything like that, right? No way! But besides the entire tinfoil hattery that I just put on right now, it turns out that Jensen had a few choice words for gamers, and clearly it's going a bit against the grain of what he said previously, and even what Nvidia said on their own about DLSS 5. Let's check out the article from Tom's Hardware and go from there. At a press Q&A with Tom's Hardware at GTC 2026, Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang downplayed the criticism of DLSS 5, the company's new use of AI and neural rendering to infer how certain features of games would look if they were more photorealistic. With Jensen saying, quote, well, first of all, they're completely wrong, Huang said in a response to a question from Tom's Hardware editor-in-chief Paul Alcorn about the criticism. The reason for that is because, as I have explained very carefully, DLSS 5 fuses controllability of the geometry and textures and everything about the game with generative AI, Huang continued. He added that developers can still fine-tune the generative AI to make it match their style, adding that DLSS 5 adds generative capability to the existing geometry of the game, but that it, quote, doesn't change the artistic control. Oh, I'm sorry, what was that? Oh, wait, so it does change the geometry of the game. It does change the textures of what's going on. And then developers can use that DLSS 5 to then fine-tune it to what they want it to look like. So it literally is doing exactly what everybody said. That is a quote directly out of Jensen's mouth. It doesn't matter how much control you give to the developer or how much you think they have control over something. What is actually happening right now is Gen AI is literally changing the video video game, the models, the geometry, the textures into what it thinks is going to be wanting you to see. And then the actual artists and developers will have the fine-tuning control to adjust it on their end. And clearly what's going to be happening instead is they're just going to go ahead and let it run out of the actual gate, because they do that right now. They do that with DLSS, where you need it to actually have your game hit 60 FPS, or they induce frame generation, or to make matters even worse, they also directly add ray tracing, which you cannot disable, which makes you required to have DLSS or frame gen active in your own PC or even console. I love, it's so great watching everything just crumble right around them, as everybody who continually said it doesn't change the geometry, like Digital Foundry or other fanboys of Nvidia, say, Alex, you're crazy, literally out of Jensen's own mouth. That's exactly what he said. Yet people cannot fathom this concept or idea at all, and even Bethesda's Todd Howard is still behind it. With PC Gamer on Twitter saying this: Bethesda weighs in on negative DLSS 5 reaction. This will all be under our artist control and totally optional for players. With the article saying this: in Nvidia's announcement, Todd Howard says, with DLSS 5, the artistic style and details shine through without being held back by the traditional limits of real-time rendering. We're excited to work with this new technology and look to bring DLSS 5 to Starfield and future Bethesda titles. And let's be honest about this entire thing, shall we? It's no secret that Todd Howard is one of the biggest liars on the actual gaming space. There are so many memes you could pull up about Todd and his lies. There's even people who make montages of him all over the Tell Me Lies, Tell Me Sweet Little Lies song, or even add him to the Memento Polaroid on the back saying never believe his lies. It's a consistent thing every single time. Yet for some reason, Todd Howard feels like he has the actual gravitas to go ahead and talk about this as if he's some sort of actual prodigal son of the gaming industry. Clearly, we are watching Nvidia and so many other companies work together in cahoots to push DLSS 5 out to the actual masses. And the crazier part is it requires those two 5090 GPUs right now to even function and run in the first place. So we have Nvidia lying about the entire aspect, saying, hey, apparently it is generative AI, and also, you're going to have some control over it. And also Todd Howard basically wanting AI to do all the work for his games, because clearly modders don't want to do it anymore for him. But the thing is, all of this comes down to the actual moment where yesterday someone made a tweet literally exposing the entire thing in front of everyone. Check it out. BiggieU_U on Twitter says this: it is indeed mixing Gen AI into DLSS 5. That's why Grace gets random makeup and fuller lips. It's not a quote lighting trick. They need to find a use for their dying tech and massive data centers. And gamers will beta test this garbage before upselling it to movie studios, architects, and etc. With an actual snippet of Nvidia's own post saying this: quote, 25 years after Nvidia invented the programmable shader, we are reinventing computer graphics once again, said Jensen Huang, founder and CEO of Nvidia. DLSS 5 is the GPT moment for graphics, blending handcrafted rendering with generative AI to deliver dynamic leap in visual realism, while preserving the control artists need for creative expression. If you thought that wasn't just exposing enough, it gets even better, because now we even have people in the gaming industry themselves trying to support DLSS 5 in the first place. JP Kellums, who is the lead producer at Epic Games, said this: all you guys roasting DLSS 5 like it doesn't look better / is detracting from art direction are absolutely insane. The lighting and shading improvements are bonkers. If that was shown as a next-gen hardware reveal and not quote AI, you guys would be going nuts, like the Watch Dogs demo. Oh, I'm sorry. You mean the Watch Dogs demo that was literally fake? That wasn't real? That was an actual lie? Everybody was going crazy about it because it didn't exist. That's That's why people were going crazy about it, because everybody who was worth their salt in video games clearly understood, hey, this is a bullshot, and we used to call those that back in the 90s and 2000s. Every PC gamer knew right off the bat that PS4, that Xbox One, they were not going to be running Watch Dogs like that at all, and every other person was calling that shit out. And you can sit there and try to fillet yourself on a consistent basis thinking like, oh, you guys were going crazy for it. Yeah, because nobody really understood tech. Now it's not that time. Now it is 2026. And when the actual CEO of Nvidia is telling you it is generative AI, when he's telling you it is screwing with the geometry, when he's telling you it's messing with the textures and not just the lighting like Digital Foundry want to have you believe, or how you are trying to make people believe and gaslight everybody, it goes to show this industry is in an actual shit fire of what's in fact going on right now. But for me, it's not just the industry itself literally lying to you on a consistent basis. No, it's also the fact that there are literal people online defending Nvidia's practices, defending what Bethesda is doing, and also going around and running defense force for this entire garbage slop in the first place. With Abstract Concept on Twitter saying this: when Nvidia launched DLSS, people laughed and called it a scam. When they launched real-time ray tracing RTX, laughed and called it a scam. When frame generation dropped, laughed and called it a scam again. Now Nvidia shows DLSS 5, cycle repeats. If you're wondering why Nvidia sits on trillions and you don't, this is your hint. My brother in Christ, those were all scams, and they're still scams today. You know why they're scams? It's because it wasn't anything that was beneficial for the user. They were all crutches that were being used and designed by Nvidia for that developers can do less work and sell more, forcing people to go around and purchase Nvidia products and GPUs. They were literally all designed to be a scam. It's crazy how actually in the past we had reflections, but they were done in smarter ways that did not cost GPUs to go through the roof around $2,000 a pop. They were done in smarter facets. It's why you had games that had true reflections. You didn't have to worry about anything else. At the same time, with DLSS, everything was being forced into that aspect. Games become less optimized, requiring DLSS now, a literal scam. No longer providing users the ability to keep their GPUs longer, Nvidia then locks DLSS behind other generations of GPUs as well. Then with ray tracing, having it baked into literal games, reducing the workload of developers, yet for some reason still unoptimizing games on a consistent basis. And now, like we talked about before, we're watching as DLSS 5 is going to dramatically change what the game looks like, the geometry, and everything else. Not just the lighting, as per Jensen's own words. So my friend, my boy, my confidant, the reason why Nvidia sits on trillions is because they've been scamming gamers for a very long time. And also the AI bubble they helped create. That too. MattVidPro on Twitter says this: did you know you can just turn DLSS 5 off? Did you know it won't be enabled by default? Did you know people used to whine and complain about DLSS 1 until the technology matured and now it's just normal? Follow the crowd, make an emotional tweet, and get free likes. Matt, I'm going to be honest with you, brother. Nvidia is never going to pay you. You're never going to be on their bankroll. They're not going to give you free GPUs. You can just go ahead and just put that aside for right now, my boy. It doesn't matter how much you gawk 9000 this company, you do not exist to them. DLSS was supposed to be good, and it took until 3 iterations after its original release to in fact get somewhere to be somewhat capable. Then they added fake generated frames, which everybody knew was an actual scam. Then they went ahead and added generative AI slop all over the game itself, which is also a fucking scam because it takes another 5090 to run that kind of DLSS. Clearly, it's not about getting the crowd and free likes. Clearly, it's about video games no longer being optimized properly, game developers doing less work and charging you more, and also GPUs costing well into the thousands while providing you nothing in return except AI slop in the first place. That's why people are mad. Not because of anything else, but because clearly these products are not worth the actual copper they're printed on. Kid Smooth on Twitter says this: I'm sorry, don't bring that AI slop commentary to me, you fucking dorks. DLSS 5 is amazing. My eyes versus your emotions. My eyes will always win. Fuck out of here with that virtual signaling bullshit. Who's really gonna tell him? Who's gonna tell him that his eyes don't work? It's literally generative AI filtered slop on there, my boy. I'm telling you, you're going to be the first one to get caught by any sort of scammer calling you, pretending to be a chick or anything else you're preferring to get into. And then you're going to give them all kinds of money when it's just some guy in the background going, I got another one, baby. You're going to be the first one to fall for Gen AI every single time, my boy. Clearly, hook, line, and sinker. Also, it's virtue signaling, not virtual signaling. That's not a real thing. That's not how that kind of works. And to make matters even worse, your eyes don't work because if you would look at this picture right here from the literal trailer, you can see that the ball looks like shit. Come on, Smooth. You're better than this. You just got yourself a PC and now you're acting as if you know what the fuck you're talking about. Maybe don't. Sit back, turn Twitter off, and don't log on for a while talking about PC gaming or anything else about PC tech in the first place. You'll save yourself the heartache next time. I promise. Here's X1 the Gamer on Twitter saying this: the online bros hate DLSS 5 and they don't even know why. 10 years ago, if someone showed you a GPU that could generate photorealistic pixels in real time, you would have lost your mind. How Nvidia announces exactly that, and people are mad because the word AI is in it. Anyone saying otherwise is lying to you. Oh, contraire, mon frère. I don't think so, buddy. You're the one that actually doesn't understand the lies that are being espoused by Nvidia. This is not simple AI lighting tech. No. You see, Digital Foundry has also been caught lying about this as well. And clearly, after everything we showed in this video, Nvidia has in fact lied to you, and you've taken it hook, line, and sinker, my boy. That's the real problem. You know why everybody hates DLSS 5? It's because it's literally using generative AI to go ahead and enhance the image when the image didn't need enhancing. When what developers need are better tools, better ways to provide visual clarity to actual players, and not doing it by generative AI slop and removing everything that made the game look good in the first place. We've called this out already, especially with the Grace picture in Resident Evil 9. You can clearly see there were actual physical changes in her geometry. The makeup changed, her lips changed, they became fuller, her hair changed. This isn't a lighting technique, this isn't a lighting trick, this is Gen AI being layered over the actual artwork that was done inside the game itself. And that is why people are angry. It's because it's going to get to a point where game developers aren't even going to be making games anymore, where all you're going to be having done is that the AI will then be prompted what to show you, and then you will be streamed it to your PC, or shall I say PC, in the first place, having zero ownership, zero access, and zero power or control over the games you decide to play. This isn't about better lighting or better graphics. Don't get it twisted. This is about Nvidia exerting its control into the gaming industry, and that is why online bros are mad, because we can see the forest from the trees while you're too busy gawking. We're here watching the entire industry collapse on its own weight, being incapable to actually fix the issue because clowns like you don't understand the actual impact of this. And that is the real lie. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, I absolutely hate the fact that we are watching the internet right now and every other person online, or even corporations like Bethesda, Todd Howard, and Jensen Huang, gaslight and lie to you on a consistent basis. Look, am I going to get things wrong? Absolutely. But the thing is, if I get something wrong, I'll just admit that I was wrong, learn the right ways, and move on. The problem is, though, these companies won't do that. They're going to lie to you to get into your pocketbook, to get into your wallet, and they're going to do it on a consistent basis. And that is the entirely worst thing about all of this. And what's even crazier is watching people online defend these companies and corporations, especially companies like Bethesda, and even worse so, especially companies like Nvidia. But even with all of that happening right now, I want to hear what you have to say. Are you enjoying what DLSS 5 is bringing to the table? Are you skeptical? Or are you going to go the complete opposite direction and avoid DLSS and Nvidia in the future moving forward? I want to hear what you guys got to say about that. And speaking about what you've got to say, here in fact is the comment of the day from yesterday's video. With Aaron Harrington 2501 saying this: "Wake up, Gooner. We have an AI bubble to burst." All right, I didn't know I would become the Johnny Silverhand of the actual gaming space, but clearly we've got a bubble to burst. Aaron, thank you guys so much, and I really appreciate everybody commenting on the videos as well. It truly does help the channel immensely, and thank you so much for watching all the way to the end as well. Now, if you want to see more of this kind of content though, more PC port reviews, gaming news, Steam Deck videos, fanboy content, and even live streams, subscribe to the channel. If you want Discord access or emotes during those live streams as well, become a YouTube member. They're as low as $1. If you don't want to spend the buck, don't sweat it. Saturday nights, 8:45 p.m. Eastern, live right here on the channel. I wear a banana suit and get insulted by about 800 people with AI TTS. It's actually amazing. Saturday nights, 8:45 p.m. Eastern, live right here on the channel. With all that being said though, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a great one, and I'll see you Gooners next time. Peace!